The wreck drifted just outside the mining colony's shadow, a charred hull barely holding together. Sensors screamed radiation warnings, but Kai had lived too long on the edge of ruin to be frightened by them. He took his shuttle closer, cutting through twisted plating until he found the sealed pod. The emergency beacon flickered weakly, pulsing like a dying heartbeat. Against all logic, someone was alive inside. When he cracked it open, the stasis field hissed away to reveal a woman. She was tall, muscled, wrapped in armor that shimmered even under the grime of battle. Her skin was pale, her eyes a fierce violet, and her hair fell in a dark braid that looked more ceremonial than practical. Even unconscious, she radiated something impossible. Command. Power. Kai dragged her aboard his shuttle, patched the breaches, and burned away before any scavengers could notice. It wasn't until hours later, when her breathing evened and her eyelids fluttered open, that she spoke. "You are not of the Ascendancy," she said, her accent thick but precise. "I'm not of anyone," Kai answered. "You were dying. I fixed it." Her gaze lingered on him, sharp as a plasma torch. "Then I owe you a debt." Kai shook his head. "You don't owe me anything. I just did what I do. I fix things." "Not things," she corrected softly. "Lives." Middle. Over the following days, Kai learned fragments of who she was, or who she claimed to be. She gave no name at first, only that she was a warrior cut off from her unit, that her vessel had been ambushed. The armor she wore seemed alive, shifting faintly under starlight, whispering in a language of circuits and song. She asked Kai to help repair her shuttle, but when he examined the wreck, he nearly laughed. The drive system was scorched beyond recognition, the core slagged. "That's not repair," he told her. "That's resurrection. You'd need parts one couldn't dream of finding out here." "Then make them," she said, her tone like an order, but her eyes softened when she saw his hesitation. "You are an engineer. That is your craft, yes?" Kai rubbed the back of his neck. "A ship's heart isn't something you cobble together from scrap." But something in her conviction stirred him. He'd spent years running from conflict, from causes. And here was someone who burned with purpose. So he tried. Piece by piece he scavenged. He repurposed mining coils for conduits, stripped old freighters for plasma regulators, even risked a raid against an Ascendancy depot for a quantum manifold. Each time he returned, she was there, watching, questioning, learning. And each time he expected her to be gone, but she stayed. Her presence changed everything. Tonight they talked. She spoke of honor, of a galaxy enslaved under the Ascendancy's banners, of forgotten worlds crushed beneath their fleets. She spoke of rebellion that flickered like candles, always snuffed out before it could blaze. Kai listened, and for the first time in years he began to care. "Why fight them?" he asked once. "Why not disappear, survive? Like I've done." "Because survival without freedom is not life," she replied. Her gaze bored into him, and in that moment, Kai felt small yet seen. As the weeks stretched into months, the ship took shape. Not what it had been, no, but something new. Something born of desperation, of ingenuity, of the strange alliance between an engineer and a warrior who refused to yield. And in that time something else grew. Bond. Kai found himself laughing again, trading stories of childhood scrapes, teaching her the crude humor of rim miners. In return, she shared songs of her people, melodies that spoke of stars and sacrifice. He felt alive in a way he hadn't since before the war. And then came the night he learned the truth. Revelation. The Ascendancy came hunting. A patrol ship, sleek and merciless, descended on the colony. Sirens screamed, people fled, and Kai prepared to run once more. But she did not run. She stood tall, armor gleaming, and when the patrol commander emerged to announce their subjugation, she walked forward. "Kneel," the commander sneered. "Or die." Instead, the woman raised her head, and her voice rang like thunder. "I am Empress Serenia Vera of the Celestial Dominion. You will kneel." The entire square fell silent. Kai's breath caught in his throat. "Empress." But then he saw it, the way the Ascendancy soldiers faltered, eyes wide, fear written plain. Her insignia blazed on her armor, a crest Kai had mistaken for ornament. She was no mere warrior. She was the rightful ruler of a galaxy swallowed by the Ascendancy, the last hope of a fallen empire. And he had been helping her all this time. Conflict. The standoff exploded into chaos. The Ascendancy commander ordered her death, but Serenia moved like fire incarnate. Her blade, plasma wreathed in silver, sang through the air. Soldiers fell one after another. Kai, trembling, scrambled to pull colonists to safety. He had no weapon, no training. But he had machines. He rerouted power from the colony's mining grid, overloading conduits, frying half the patrol systems. Explosions rocked the square. Serenia fought like a storm. Kai fought like an engineer. Together they drove the Ascendancy back. When the smoke cleared, the patrol ship lay crippled. The colonists cheered, voices rising in a chorus Kai had never heard before. Hope. And Serenia turned to him, her expression unreadable. "You know the truth now," she said. Kai swallowed hard. "You're an empress." Her lips curved into something between pride and sorrow. "I was. Perhaps I will be again. But not without ships. Not without people. Not without engineers who can build where others see only ruins." Kai should have run then. Should have said no. He was no soldier. But as he looked into her eyes, he realized he didn't want to run anymore. Ending. Over the following months, word spread. Colonists whispered of the Empress returned. More joined them, rebels, deserters, dreamers. A fleet began to form, ragged but growing. And at the heart of it, Kai worked without rest, his hands shaping metal into weapons of defiance. He was still an engineer, but he was no longer just fixing ships. He was building a rebellion. And at his side, Serenia was no longer just a warrior. She was an empress reclaiming her throne, one battle at a time. One night, as they stood aboard the reborn vessel, stars wheeling outside the viewport, Kai finally found the courage to speak. "I never asked why you trusted me," he said. Serenia's gaze softened. "Because you did not kneel to power. You did not serve fear. You chose to act simply because it was right. That is what makes humanity remarkable." Kai laughed quietly. "I thought I was just fixing a ship." "You were," she said, smiling faintly. "But you were also fixing a future." Their hands brushed, a fleeting touch charged with unspoken promise. The war ahead would be brutal. But together, an engineer and an empress had sparked something greater than survival. They had ignited a fire that even the Ascendancy could not extinguish. And across the stars, humanity's legacy was just beginning.